Hey everybody, welcome to the Nightly Relay. I'm Paul David Trier. Oh, it's Thursday. This is the day we end our week here at the Nightly Relay headquarters. And we're going to cover the political news and all the other stuff out there that's going on as much as we can in about 10 minutes. Well, you know, it's not going to be that much, I guess, but we'll do what we can for you, on your behalf. We aim to please. We do it for our audience, all four, and you know who you are. So there was a debate last night, and I watched it. Well, I watched most of it. And what I thought was interesting was how the debate started off. So MSNBC, the liberal network, was hosting the debate, and they had a panel of about, I think, 5 moderators. Why do you need 5 moderators? That's the first question. You really only need 1, 2 tops. But they had 5. So anyway, as I usually do, I checked out CNN. I don't know why, but I checked out CNN to see who they thought the winners were. And they obviously thought that Elizabeth Warren was the big winner from the night, and I would agree with that. And here's why. So the debate started, oddly enough. I thought this was strange. They went to Bernie, who's the front runner. He has won more popular votes in both Iowa and New Hampshire than anybody else. He's ahead in the polls. An ABC News poll just came out yesterday that puts him at 32%. A 10-point lead over everybody else, the nearest competitor. And of course, you know, the big story is that Michael Bloomberg is now jumping into the race. Everyone else has been at it for a year, but the billionaire, creepy billionaire, Michael Bloomberg, who used to be a Republican and has given millions of dollars to Republicans running for office just within the last few years, he is now thinks he's just going to walk in and buy the presidency, just like the other guy who did that 4 years ago. So anyway, try to get to the point here. So they started out with a question to the front runner, Bernie Sanders. The question was about his health records. He recently had a mild heart attack. He had a stent put in. He came back. He's looking sharp and frisky. He is the front runner. I'm going to keep saying that until it finally sinks in. And so they started off with a question about his health records, like why he hasn't released all of his health records, and he's not being transparent, and something along those lines. And after Bernie finishes his statement, who do they go to? Mr. Bloomberg. Camera, boom, zeroes right in on him. Now, I thought that was odd. You know, why, after all of this time, all of these other people, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, all, you know, working really hard here, spending their hard-earned campaign money, and, you know, now they all got to compete with a guy that's got billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. Not only that, but he's a jerk. So the camera zooms in on Mike so that he can now knock Bernie down and say something along the lines, well, you know, I released my records. You're not being transparent. You know, so right off the bat, letting Bloomberg go after Bernie, it was as about a staged opening as I have ever seen. Very similar to what CNN did with Elizabeth Warren and Bernie a few weeks back. Anyway, Elizabeth Warren, though, God bless her soul, she jumped right in, and she made this comment. She said, "I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg." And you could see the life, just the blood just drain from his face. And it was pretty much like that for Mike all through the night. Amy Klobuchar jumped in, and eventually they started harping on the fact that he has all of these non-disclosure agreements with women he apparently either said something to or did something to, paid them hush money, and they signed an agreement. They were urging him, all of them, I think including Joe Biden, saying, all you got to do, Mike, is say tonight, right here on stage, that those women are released from those non-disclosures, and they can talk about what you did. And we'd all love to hear that. And of course, Bernie jumped on his stop and frisk policy. Mike Bloomberg is another creepy billionaire who thinks he can buy the presidency. And not only that, he doesn't have to play by the rules that everyone else has to play by. He can say and do whatever he wants to women, or anybody else for that matter. And he's a jerk. And I had to get all of that off my chest. So at the end of the day, they thought that Bernie came out pretty good last night because with all of the other people jumping on Mike, and they were really going after him. If you watched it, if you missed a good one, because they were really going after Bloomberg big time. And by the end of the night, he looked like he had been in a boxing match with 4 opponents who just pummeled him all night long. Bernie came out pretty good because everyone pretty much left, except for that first opening round that MSNBC probably planned with Mike Bloomberg. He probably knew in advance that camera was going to be on his face right off the bat, and this was going to be his big moment. After that, everyone just pretty much left Bernie alone. I mean, there was there was a little back and forth about the healthcare plan that Bernie, healthcare for all that Bernie's proposing. So a little bit of that went on, but for the most part, Bernie came out unscathed, and he looked pretty good. And of course, Bloomberg took some punishment. The funny thing was, everyone looked so well prepared, like they knew exactly what they were going to say and do. Elizabeth Warren, really fiery, and jumped right in there and started throwing punches. I was impressed. And Bloomberg looked like he had no plan, nothing. He didn't have any. He didn't come to the podium with any notes. He was just kind of standing there twiddling his thumbs while everybody was scouring over their notepads and everything. He was totally unprepared for this. For a guy that runs a media organization, right? You'd think he might. But you see, that's how arrogant he is. That's the kind of arrogant jerk he is. Like, I don't have to prepare. It's just all gonna like happen like magic. And just like Donald Trump, they're two of the same cloth. Okay, all right, I'll stop about Michael Bloomberg. But it was fun to watch. I thought it was good to see them all get feisty. But of course, they're all now. This is their last chance. We've got Nevada primary coming up on Saturday. A couple of them, if they don't do well in Nevada, are probably going to have to hit the high road. So we'll be watching that over the next few days. And anyway, that's all I really have. Roger Stone got sentenced today. They only gave him 3 years and 4 months. 3 years and 4 months. Whatever, he's gone to jail. That makes me happy. This is the Nightly Relay, and I'm Paul David Trier. Have a good weekend, everybody. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeehaw! That's my Howard Dean impersonation. See you later.